fig tree faith. As they were leaving Bethany, Jesus saw a fig tree in leaf, and, hoping to find some fruit to eat, he went over to it, to discover that it only had leaves. Jesus spoke to the tree, saying, "May you never bear fruit again." Continuing along the road towards Jerusalem, they reached the Mount of Olives, where they rested. Jesus sent 2 of the disciples, saying, "Go to the next village, where you will find a young colt tied up, one that has never been ridden before. Untether it and bring it here. If anyone asks what you are doing, simply tell them the master needs it, and he will return it as soon as he is able." The 2 disciples went off and found the colt just as Jesus had said and began to untie it. Some of the villagers asked what they were doing. The disciples responded exactly as Jesus had instructed, and the villagers let them go ahead. So they brought back the colt, and having placed their cloaks across its back, Jesus rode upon it the rest of the way into Jerusalem. So were fulfilled the words of the prophet, which says, "Your king is coming. He is humble, riding on a donkey's colt," though the disciples did not recall this prophecy at the time. By now, a sizable crowd lined the path on either side, with some placing their cloaks or palm branches on the ground for the donkey to walk on, all the while shouting, "Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in God's name! Hosanna in the highest!" Onlookers near the city asked, "Who can this be?" And others in the crowd answered, "This is Jesus, the prophet from Nazareth in Galilee." The Pharisees, meanwhile, said to one another, "This is getting out of hand. See how people love him." And they said to Jesus, "Rabbi, your followers are using God's name in vain. You should stop them." But Jesus replied, "If they didn't praise me, then the very stones on the path would burst into song." But as he neared the city walls, Jesus began to weep. "O Jerusalem, how I have wished that you would find the path of peace! But it is too late now. Soon your enemies will be at your gate. They will besiege the walls and destroy you, killing everyone, leaving not one stone upon another, because you reject what God has given you." Jesus arrived at the temple court, where he saw traders selling cattle, sheep, and doves, whilst others were sitting at tables, exchanging money. Jesus became very angry, and made a whip out of strands of rope, and he chased the traders out of the temple area, driving out the animals, overturning the tables, scattering money everywhere, and exclaiming, "How dare you turn my Father's house of prayer into a den of thieves?" The leading priests and teachers, alarmed at the disturbance, demanded to know by whose authority Jesus was acting, and he replied, "Destroy this temple, and I will raise it again in 3 days." They scoffed at him, saying, "This temple took 46 years to build, and you say you could rebuild it in 3 days?" But no one understood that he was talking about himself. It was only after Jesus was raised from the dead that the disciples recalled his words and came to believe everything that he had spoken. Jesus also knew that, even though the crowd believed in him today, they would soon show how fickle they would be. As they returned to Bethany that evening, they passed the fig tree. The disciples were astonished to see that it had completely withered away. Peter said to Jesus, "Look, Lord, the tree you cursed has died." Jesus replied, "Have faith in God, and all your prayers will be answered. You could tell a mountain to throw itself into the sea, and it would. Remember too that when you pray, If you have something against a person, forgive them completely. Then your Father in heaven will forgive you your sins. The fig tree faithful, leaves and branches raised in praise to the Son of David on a donkey's colt, yet fruitless, will wither and die in the heat of persecution so soon to come. Meanwhile, tables are turned and doves set free. The sick find healing in his wings, and the blind can see. As children sing Hosanna in the debris of dead religion, he whose faith can move a mountain faces death for our salvation.